Hey there. I wanted to share just a little tiny bit about harmonizing the masculine and feminine energies within us. So, this is a big topic, and I will most likely be doing some workshops around this, classes, something like that, because I don't think I feel, I know that it's really important for us to understand this. First of all, to have the awareness of it, to understand it, and to grok it and to embody it. Lastly, right? First, we get the knowledge and the information, and then we can embody the information. But I just wanted to give a little tiny taste of what that means, our masculine and feminine energy. So we have, every being has both. But, or I should say, and you have a dominant polarity. So masculine and feminine energies are magnets to each other, typically, when they're balanced, when each is balanced, right? They're magnetic. That's why we have masculine and feminine coming together, right? To co-create and in relationship and our relating experiences with one another. Male and female. It doesn't have to be male and female. It can be two males, two females, but there is a dominant feminine and a dominant masculine polarity. Otherwise, they would repel, right? If they're the same charge. So the feminine is the negative polarity and the masculine is the positive polarity. The masculine is the electricity, right? And the feminine polarity is like a magnetic, right? Just like the receiving energy, and the masculine is the giving energy. I mean, there's a lot more to it, but it is actually in the end pretty simple. But if you're like me and you are a dominant feminine polarity, that means embodying your feminine energy is going to serve you very well. And what has happened on this planet is that we have been, for the past, I don't know, at least a couple hundred years, more probably, we have been, everything ebbs and flows, right? The Hermetic principles, there's yin and yang, there's the pendulum, it's always swinging. So we've swung to be hyper masculine, but I don't mean that masculine is bad, because it's not. And that's something that is really unfortunate, that people are like, oh, this toxic masculinity. Masculinity is not toxic, only when it's wounded. Same with feminine. You can have feminine toxicity when it's wounded, right? So when they're in balance, when they're in harmony, when they're actually, we need both energies. We have to have both energies. There's nothing wrong with either energy. But when either they're not in balance or they're wounded, and usually we have wounded both parts are wounded, then it's just kind of a total mess. It's just a mess, right? Like you see women who are trying to be full on in their masculine energy and hustle and go and do 100 million things and action. Masculine energy is action, and it's doing, right? It's doing, it's the doer. The feminine energy is the receiver. It's the being energy. And we don't see a lot of women these days just flowing in their beautiful surrendered energy. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm dominantly feminine polarity. So most of my time and space should be, or if I'm in alignment with my polarity as a feminine energy, then that's where I'm going to be spending most of my time. Right? It's just in that very receptive, open, gentle, loving, nurturing space. That doesn't mean it's passive, that at all. Surrender is definitely not passive. But I also have a masculine energy. It's just not as dominant, right? And my masculine energy comes in and is responsible for the taking action when it's time, when it's relevant, when to get things done, to to protect me, to have boundaries, to be fierce. And both polarities can be quite fierce. But that's them in balance, right? Like I'm mostly feminine. So and I did this because I thought this is what we were supposed to do. This is what was conditioned, is to, I've always been an entrepreneur, right? So I've hustled, marketing, all the things, like, oh my gosh, let me take all these courses and spend all this money and try to figure out what to do, right? How to do it and what to do to like make money and blah, 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 all this stuff. And even talking about it feels like total shit. Why? Because it's not what I'm meant to be doing. Is hustle. Doesn't mean I don't take action. It doesn't mean I don't do the things that need to be done and send out the emails and get back to people and whatever. But for the most part, I am meant to be in surrender and flow and receive and be in the receiving energy of the feminine, which is just knowing that abundance just is, and it is my role to allow it, to receive it, to allow, right? And so I spent so much of my life hustling and trying to figure out, how to make all the money and working on my relationship with money, all of these programs and blah, blah, blah. Just on, like I could go on forever, and all the years and time and money I spent doing all these things, when really it was about doing less, being more, which I even tried that. But I was trying, right? I was trying to be, to surrender. I was trying. It's like, oh, we don't have to try because it just is already, and it feels good. It feels good. So as the feminine polarity, please, I want to like shout this out to the world, right? Just to all women, it's mostly women. We can have a polarity that, like a feminine that is actually in a, as a man, that happens for sure. But the majority of feminine energies, dominant feminine energies, are women. So just, I just want to shout it out, like, just stop the hustle. Just stop the hustle. Just be, and yeah, it's not easy at first because you feel like, oh God, I need to be going, I need to be, otherwise I'm not valuable. Otherwise what am I worth if I'm not, all these stories, all these limitations come up. And another thing, as the feminine polarity, we're not seeking for anything, seeking for money, seeking for love, this whole like, women and men are like equal, and okay, in value and inherent value, of course we're equal, but our roles are not the same. They're not the same. And so for a woman to go after a man and to go after love and to go, with the energy of like, I need that is a masculine energy. And what you're going to get is a man who is in his wounded, probably masculine and feminine energies, because you're in your wounded masculine and feminine energies. It's not balanced. It's not polarized, or it is polarized, right? So if you want to be balanced in a connection, then you coming into your feminine is going to draw in that healed, healthy, balanced masculine energy who does have a healthy feminine, just a small part, just a little bit, just like we have a little bit of masculine, just enough, just enough to get us to take action and do the things we need to do. But there's no worry, there's no stress. It's flow, my beautiful ladies. It's flow, it's ease. It really is. And I can attest to this, like in the past, goodness, like year or so, I really have been feeling this so much. And my whole life of hustle, hustle, hustle is just, it was like a key got just, once I just knew the truth and really relaxed into my beautiful feminine energy that is just like, so wants to be there, so wants to be, like our full goddess self is just dying to be there with you and for you. So we have to let it, and we don't have to seek for anything. That's the good news, is the feminine polarity. There's no seeking. There's no, because you are all those things. You are the abundance. You are love. You are. Where would you go to find it when you are it? And so that's that seeking outside of yourself. And so when these are balanced, then your beautiful masculine energy comes in, and both are balanced, and it's the Eros Gamos. It's this unlocking of this human and spiritual together coming in for this. We could call it like a, technology. That sounds weird, but it's like the keys to the kingdom, truly, to like heaven on earth, is first feeling that within yourself, that balance. And then you don't need anything from anyone. You don't, and then like imagine that kind of life where you're not saying, hey, you need to do this for me, and you need to do this for me, and my husband needs to blah, blah, blah. And what if you were like, you know what? It doesn't mean you have to, do everything yourself, because here's the thing. When you're in your beautiful balanced energy, your masculine, whatever on the external, whether there's already one or one will come, will just know what you want and need and just show up. Be like, hey babe, can I help you with, whatever it is? Truly. So I just wanted to share this little bit. It's just a little tiny taste. And I can't wait to share more with you. But my message today is, if you are the dominant feminine polarity, please, 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 for your own sake and for the sake of everyone around you and the freaking world, just come inwards and just do some investigation and ask questions and be curious and relax, and just relax, because that is your natural state. It is not the doer and the hustler and the go, go, go and the gotta get it done. That's not it. Okay, can't wait to share more soon. Much love.